following podcast contains spoilers for The Other Lamb. You have been warned.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of KFR News Radio. This is your host, Benjamin Button, along with your host, Miguel Migusto.
Oh, I drank water and went down the wrong pipe.
Okay, buddy?
I'm okay. How are you doing, Glenn?
Better than you, apparently. Jesus.
I'm having a rough time right now.
Yeah, you're having a little spillage.
This is the latest we've ever recorded, and around this time used to be the time that I shined, but I'm getting old,
you're
as
getting
they say.
old and you're getting bold.
It's technically my birthday right now.
Actually, oh, happy birthday, you beautiful bitch.
Thanks, buddy. You're the first person to say anything. Granted, it's only 17 minutes after midnight, so.
That's all right. It counts in my heart.
Oh, yeah. It counts in my heart as well. How has your week been?
My week's not bad, but I know you went on a little mini vacation this weekend, so you tell me all about it, and you tell me if you watched every movie to exist.
Oh, well, I went to the Adirondacks with my buddies, as we do every year. The entire trip is just us going to eat copious amounts of food.
Yes.
And we did so. And I did not watch that many movies. We watched 2 movies while we were up there. And we all like to watch bad movies together because they're fun. So we watched Twisted Pair, a Neil Breen film. Glenn, have you seen and or heard any Neil Breen films?
I don't think so.
He is terrible. He makes Tommy Wiseau look like the most competent filmmaker ever.
Well, it helps that he made how many films? 1? The Room?
Yeah, really. But yeah, Neil Breen is a self-financed filmmaker. I believe he's based in Nevada. He used to be a real estate agent and architect. That's where he got his money to make these movies, and now he just makes bad movies. But he makes a living off of it, so good for him, kind of.
Everybody's got a dream.
And Glenn, I own Twisted Pair on DVD because I bought it specifically for this trip.
Okay.
And I will subjugate you to it at some point.
Just like Harrison Ford's beautiful goddamn face.
Yes, let's just say he says this line, conservatively speaking, 10 times. AI, artificial intelligence, synergy, virtual reality.
Oh, wow.
It's not exactly that, but it's the whole thing's a bunch of nonsense, and it's fun. It's good fun.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna watch it at some point, and then we watched a blaxploitation movie from the 70s called Petey Wheatstraw, the Devil's Son-in-Law. It is a Rudy Ray Moore film for people who know who Rudy Ray Moore is. He was a blaxploitation filmmaker back in the 70s. Did a lot of really fun comedies for the black community. And we watched it. It was a good fun. I also own that one, so we can watch that one too.
That's a twofer. Let's do it.
It's a twofer. Well, I have a whole Rudy Ray Moore collection, so we can watch those at some point.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, and then I watched The Other Lamb. I only watched 3 movies this week. Kind of been busy with that trip.
Okay.
Eating lots of food. We played D&D.
I almost caught up to you.
Yeah, we played D&D for an entire night or day, so didn't do much other than that.
Hey, vacation's vacation, man.
Vacation,
you enjoyed
all
it.
I ever wanted.
Glenn, relax.
What about you? What'd you watch this week?
So I have watched one movie besides The Other Lamb, and that was The Devil All the Time.
I want to watch that. I wanted to watch that today, but
it's got
my wife wanted to hang out.
Disgusting. Tell that beautiful lady I said hello when you do.
I will.
Directed by Antonio Campos, written by him as well, a screenplay by Paulo Campos. Stars Robert Pattinson, Haley Bennett, Tom Holland, and there's a lot of other stars in there that I'm going to skip for now because I'm sure we'll talk about it later for you. It was a good film. There's a lot going on in it. Not to like hurt your head or anything. There's just a lot of people's stories being told, and the only problem really that I had with it was like a narration that it had. But other than that, it was a great film. Like, it was really good.
Cool. Yeah, I've been meaning to check that out.
Yeah.
Don't tell me anything else.
That's all I'm saying. The only other thing I have is that I didn't even hear about it until it was live.
Yeah, I heard it
dropped.
from our good friend John Clark, who, you know, if I haven't heard of a movie, he will tell me about it. So,
Yeah.
in the rare instances that that happens, I get a lot of movie recommendations from him. But yeah, that's it.
Oh, that is it.
All right, so we don't have any news for this week. You know, it'd all be more of the same with the coronavirus COVID-19 situation. So let's just jump into The Other Lamb.
There once was a woman, made of moonlight and teeth. She would roam in the woods, searching for something, hunting.
And he just kept telling me, you are perfect. You are accepted.
Oh, my shepherd, I need a deeper experience with you than I ever had before.
So beautiful, just like your mother's.
Come down upon me and fill me with yourself.
Let us pray. My wives, you all came to me broken by a cruel world. I took every one of you in. I sacrificed my life for you. I gave you daughters and sisterhood and life. Let us reflect on our blessings.
Yes, my shepherd.
You think that because you haven't had your time yet, that makes you special. Prepare yourself, child. Our great shepherd won't be so sweet on you then. I'll be seeing you when the blood comes to you.
A girl born into an all-female cult led by a man in their compound begins to question his teachings and her own reality. It is directed by Malgorzata Zumowska. I didn't
think you got
stumble on
that.
that at all. Bam! Written by C.S. McMullen and stars Raffi Cassidy, Michelle Huisman, Mallory Adams, and Kelly Campbell. It is an Irish and Belgium film. And Glenn, after you watched this, you told me I would love the location scouting.
Yep.
Is it because it is so very obviously shot in Ireland?
Absolutely.
Yes, it is very obviously shot in Ireland, even though it's supposed to take place in the United States. And I fucking love Ireland, so top of the morning to you.
To you specifically.
Yeah, the cinematography is probably my best takeaway from this.
It's 100% for me.
It is 100% a beautifully shot film. The cinematographer is Michael or Michel, I'm not sure. He's from Poland, so it's probably Michel Englert. He has done a film called Never Gonna Snow Again. That's a boss title. I don't know what that's about, but that's a boss title. In the Name of, Body, 33 Scenes. So not much that I am aware of, you know, as far as coming across the ocean to the States. But dude killed it.
Yeah, he really did. So I watched it this morning. I know you watched it today as well.
Yeah.
Because we were all busy little goats or lambs. So I watched it this morning, and I was kind of taken aback about how well it was filmed. Just like all the locations. I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, you're gonna love this if you didn't watch it already. And then you were like, I'm watching it now. I was like, my boy. And like every shot, whether it was the shot or the setting where the scene took place, was just so well done. There was those little vertigo shots that they had. They used a couple of those in the scenes.
Yeah.
They had just straight up her on like a whole mountain, basically.
They did a good push-pull on the mountain.
Like a really good one. It was a long one too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There was just so many scenes and shots in this movie that you were just kind of like taken aback, and I was just like, dear God, save me. You honestly, you barely needed even the audio, because it was just that. I know John Constantino, you know what I'm saying.
Costantino.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He always recommends, he's like, oh, dude, whenever you get a chance, watch this movie and just to turn the music off, turn all the audio off, turn off, watch this. This would be one of those movies I'd be like, dude, here you go, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Taking after
Definitely.
you.
I love John. But he's more of a visual guy than a story guy. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
But you're absolutely right. This would be one that would still be good without the sound. It's just absolutely beautifully shot. The scenery is wonderful. The set design is wonderful. Like they're in their first camp, they have that section that's just stringed off by like a bunch of cotton strings.
Yeah, they have like a yarn string or something just
Yeah.
varied out throughout the whole like area that they are living.
Oh yeah, and of course it's shot with the beautiful Irish landscape, which is amazing. If anyone's ever been, they know how amazing it is, and it's just otherworldly in a way. It doesn't feel like it is on Earth. Specifically in this film, there's this one scene where she goes to this hut that all the women who are on their period are forced to go to. She's sent to give them food and everything. And there's like these weird trees that are growing on a hill but growing sideways. Usually trees on a hill still grow straight up, but these ones are growing sideways and juxtaposed with the ones on flat land growing straight up. It's just insane looking. It doesn't look real, and it's just incredible. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. It's got a 5.0 on IMDb, 65 Metacritic score. So it's clear that this is a pretty split movie, which I completely get.
Yeah.
It's advertised as a horror, which is why I picked it. We're trying to do 6 episodes of horror during the spooky season, which we are in, and this is more of like.
This is definitely more of a drama than it is.
Yeah,
anything.
but the horror elements in it are more existential than anything.
Yeah.
Where, the whole thing is about this. It's a coming of age story about this girl, but she's put in this very horrific situation with like sex abuse of the cult leader, who's played by Michelle Huisman. Or Huisman. I honestly don't know how to pronounce. I'm probably going to butcher his name 10 times and pronounce it 20 times different ways. But yeah, Raffi Cassidy plays the main character who has her first period, and she kind of starts realizing how much bullshit this guy is teaching, and it's just her buildup of contempt towards her. And the horror elements really come in the dream sequences.
Yeah.
Where we see things in all their horrible gory glory, but yeah, I was really compelled by it the entire time, but I do understand why it is mixed reviews with this one.
I couldn't help but like sometimes compare it to The Witch.
Yeah, I could see that.
It felt like it a lot. Not saying that they were made to be the same movie, but there's a lot of scenes that felt like it, and even the end scene for me, I was like, I really hope they all don't stand naked together, because that'll definitely remind me. Luckily they didn't, because they were A, underage, B, girls in the movie. Not saying that guys should or shouldn't either, just yeah, but there's a lot of elements here. If you like Witch, you're most likely probably either gonna hate this because it seems like Witch, or like it because it is like Witch. It doesn't have the old timey talk, which A, for my brain is nice. B, just it's fine without it. It makes it seem like it takes place during today's times, which I mean it did really. Yeah. I don't know. It was a really cool movie. Especially with that cinematography, like we said multiple times now, it just really brought it home in comparison to everything. Everybody likes to stare in this movie. I really got a nice little feeling of, do I go outside in the world and feel like somebody's staring at me? No, in this movie, everybody's staring at me. That's what's going on here. And it definitely made you feel at unease a lot in the movie. You're just sitting there eating your food, gobbling that shit up. You're like, this is scrumptious. I love being in a cult. Oh wait, let me look up at the shepherd. He's staring right into my soul.
And now he's sticking his fingers down that girl's throat.
What is up with that? Everybody's throat. He had this fixation on sticking his fingers down.
Which I mean, it makes complete sense. Most cult leaders are have like some kind of kink. I don't think there's ever been a cult that wasn't based off of the leader's sexual desires. I could be wrong about that, but I'm fairly certain. Like even the quote unquote Christian ones, the cult leader miraculously had God tell him that he needs to have sex with everyone's wives. That's the Waco cult, the Seventh Day Adventists. I think I forget
Listen,
exactly what
John,
that is.
I know your heart's hurting right now, but God just told me I need to fuck your wife, dude.
That's essentially what happened in Waco. And like they were so like taken aback by him that they believed him. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
Please, no, dude.
yeah, so I think that the whole finger thing was just showing us like it was a sexual thing. It wasn't like a religious thing.
And even in real life, I'm sitting there like, why do you enjoy this?
Oh yeah. This dude's a freak.
You're a weirdie,
and not in a good way either. I legitimately like. While we agree that this isn't quite horror, it is extremely horrifying just to think that there are women and to a lesser extent men, but mainly women that do go through shit like this.
Yeah,
where they are, abused and brainwashed into believing that this person is, the second coming of Jesus or whatever, and then are forced more or less to marry him, carry his children and everything, and then it just is this never-ending cycle of abuse and incest and sexual assault, and it's just. I think there's a lot of comments on here that say that this isn't horror at all, and I think that is obviously probably written by men, and B, those people have no empathy for any character, because like just because it's not horrifying to you doesn't mean that it's not horrifying to those characters.
It's a pretty scary thing to think about.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't have ever imagined being in a cult myself.
I mean I'm 6'3" and over 300 pounds. I find it hard for any human person that isn't Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson being able to overtake me.
True.
I mean, there are definitely more than just Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
He's just, it's funnier if I
big
name a
man
specific.
you thought about.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one of those things, and it really built up this hatred for this guy, and you felt the hate that she felt, and that's more than just like a, it's a cult, we know how this goes. You see her hate build, and in the end, when he slaps her, I was going, slap him back.
Oh, she
and then she did, and I went, yas, queen.
You'll do it, baby.
It was just so gratifying, and then you see the cops come and see all of the older women's bodies, and then they find him just gutted and bloodied and hanging from a tree. And it's just
with the ram's horns.
Yeah, with the ram horns on his head. It's just such a gratifying ending, in my opinion, without spelling it out for you too.
Yeah,
it lets you come to your own conclusions, but also tells you what happened. And in all, I think it's just a great story, allegory for women standing up for themselves against men who have harmed them, and I really enjoyed it for that aspect, and just thought it was really powerful in the way it was told, even though I admit it's not a way that most people would want it told. So I really don't have a problem with people not liking this movie, but I really liked it.
It is definitely a good movie. Let's talk about the main actors real quick.
Raffi Cassidy.
Who we know from a couple things.
Yeah, she her first big role was maybe, it looks like, Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland.
That's the first thing I remember her from. I believe she plays a cyborg or robot or something.
Snow White and the Huntsman, but she was like a young Snow White in that instead of
Yeah,
who
she was a bigger character in Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
And then she was also in The Killing of the Sacred Deer, which is a phenomenal movie.
Yes.
And she's got a nice career ahead of her with all of these, smaller artistic films, which, is great. I love when people stick to those kinds of movies, even though it might be the only movies that they're getting. But I love it when
it's okay though. because they're
yeah.
great movies. Yeah, she was great, and I'm assuming this is how you pronounce his name, Mikael Huisman. Is it Mikael?
It's Michelle.
Is it Michelle?
Yeah, I know that much just because all Europeans pronounce Michael.
Got it.
Michelle.
Listen, I'm just a dumb American, but we know him from a lot of things.
And I believe it's Huisman, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
I don't know. We're gonna keep going. Anyway, we know him from a lot of things. Really, most recently has been the Haunting of Hill House. I think he's going to be.
Oh yeah, he is in that.
I think he's going to be in the new one as well. So what's always distracting to me is that I only see him like as the guy Dario from Game of Thrones. Well, not only see him, but like that's the main thing. I'm like, it's Dario, that's sexy. But with the long hair in this movie, I was like, it's Dario, you sexy motherfucker. Yeah, he was great too. He was very
creepy.
very creepy for sure. Is definitely the word that I was looking for. But yeah, he was great. Definitely. I'm not gonna lie. I might think about joining a cult if he's the leader.
Well, in
He'd
this
really
cult,
be
he
like
wouldn't want you.
Jesus.
He wouldn't
That's
want you in this
true.
cult. But yeah, he was great. He was he's normally like the charming, attractive guy, and to just see him as this completely evil, creepy character with little to no redeeming qualities was, it's always refreshing seeing someone kind of branching out from what they normally are. I mean, I didn't see Game of Thrones, as most people know, but he is the love interest in Age of Adeline. He's in the movie The Invitation. I believe he's just the brother in The Invitation.
I forgot he's even in the Invitation.
Yeah, he's like the ex-husband in the movie Wild. He's always just like the attractive side piece for women, which, women need that since, women are usually cast as the attractive side piece.
Yeah.
But it is just nice seeing him be a completely
Get a little different
terrible
role.
person. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really, really great role. And I just love the way it was told. Like, the violence was heavily implied and never really shown.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciated. Just because, especially with low budget horror adjacent movies, it's easy to just show straight up brutal murder, and they always cut away from it in this and showed the aftermath or showed it in a dream. And it was just a really artistic way to show it, and it made for more beautiful cinematic moments, such as like when she's dreaming of smashing his head with a rock, and you just see in slow motion all of the sisters attacking him, and because it's shot that way, like the colors are beautiful. You see just the splatter becomes beautiful more than gory in that sense. And it's just, she's gets almost drowned at one point, and it becomes like this beautiful cinematic moment. It's just a very creative way to show violence without really showing it in a way.
Yeah.
And I thought it was beautifully done. Shot in Ireland. I fucking love Ireland. I want to live
Fucking
there.
looks real good in this movie too.
I want to be in Ireland. I want Ireland and me. Just want.
You're making me hungry for some potatoes.
Oh man.
I just realized it's unrated.
Yeah, it probably wasn't sent to the MPAA. Probably just bought directly off the festival circuit from Hulu.
Well, it's definitely an R, so.
Yeah, it's definitely an R. I don't think it'd be an NC-17. There's not enough in my mind to make it an NC-17. Definitely not a PG-13. But
unless we were watching Indiana Jones for the first time. Back in the times that it came out.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I really enjoy this. I don't really have too much more to say about it, but it's a fantastic movie in my opinion. It is going to be a love it or hate it thing. There's a lot of people with, they have most of them have solid points. Some of them are just like, it's not scary. But a lot of them do have solid facts and points about it, but I really enjoyed it.
As I went down in the valley to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way.
Shala, what happened?
Oh, sisters, let's go down.
It's worse than punishment.
Let's go down on down. Oh, sisters, let's go down.
I am relying on you, Zella.
Down in the valley.
Of all my children, you're the purest in your faith.
Let's move on to Le Jugement. So, will this become a little shelf boy with his pants hiked up high and flying the flag of the motherland? Aaron Gobrach, Ireland, I love you. Yes, I believe this is a shelf boy with the likes of Apostle and the Handmaiden.
That'll never get old.
It's not. I love it. I'm always going to love it. But yeah, I think this is. We pointed out the cinematography alone makes this worthy of a shelf boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say in my turn there that I think the cinematography alone really just justifies it being a shelf boy more than anything else.
Yeah. And like, because at the very least, if you're not enjoying the story, you're gonna get beautiful shots.
Yeah.
In damn near every single frame.
Yeah,
I don't remember a single
time,
frame.
Every time you look away, there's like a different scene and like place they are, and you're just like,
yeah.
Jesus, that looks good. I want to walk on that.
And then it's also just got a really gratifying ending that is really it's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Not that that's a good term for it, because it's still a very dark movie.
Definitely makes you feel good about what happened.
It's gonna make you go, yes,
ladies.
So the other lamb makes it onto the shelf with the likes of Apostle and the Handmaiden. That brings us to our plugs for this week. My plug for this week is going to be a trailer for a film that is coming out. It is going to be out next year. They're not going to be releasing it this year, even though I believe it was originally supposed to be released this year. But it is a film called Judas and the Black Messiah. It is a film. I should have brought this shit up on IMDb. Hold on. It is a film with Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield and Jesse Plemons, directed by Shaka King, written by Shaka King and Will Burson, and two more who I'm too lazy to open that up. I'm so tired, you guys. I'm very tired. But it's about the story of Fred Hampton, chairman of the Illinois Black Panther Party, and his hateful betrayal by FBI informant William O'Neill. That is the trailer for Judas and the Black Messiah. That is going to be on Warner Brothers Pictures on YouTube.
Repeat after me. I am a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary.
You're looking at 18 months for the stolen car, 5 years for impersonating a federal officer, or you can go home.
Okay. I did see that trailer. I didn't watch it, but I did see it, and I was like, oh, it's gonna look good. I can guarantee.
Oh yeah, it's a great trailer.
All right. Well, for my plug, I've got basically a whole channel on YouTube. I kind of stumbled upon this nicely, and it kind of made me feel good because I promise you, like 10 of their videos after I saw the one. It's called Film Comics Explained, and it's basically a channel that explains a bunch of things, especially like creatures from horror movies and such like that, diseases in horror movies, and they don't just like touch up on like horror movies, but many different things. They talk about specifically movies altogether. Like here's one right here for Predestination Explained or Explored. Like they go into the movie and they talk all types of things. Like if you're feeling like you don't understand, you go into one of these videos and they'll tell you a little bit about it. And for the one that brought me in was the Clover Monster, because that always gets my rocks off when I love I love the whole lore behind Cloverfield, which is why I originally loved the first one so much.
Yeah.
Not so much obviously for the handheld camera type shit, but for the lore that was behind the movie, and they go into it explaining the Clover Monster and a little bit about the 10 Cloverfield Lane stuff. And then the next one that I watched was Modor, Child of Loki, from the Ritual movie. They talked about that a little bit, and I was like, hell yeah. And I just fell down the drain, dude, and I kept stumbling, and there's a little bit of water that got on my lap because, I'm in a drain. But it was great. So I definitely recommend this channel. They were great. They talk about a lot. And they're only like 10-minute videos each at max most times.
Nice.
So, yeah. Film Comics Explained on YouTube.
Film Comics Explained on YouTube, and the trailer for Judas and the Black Messiah. That is our two plugs. Those are our two plugs. Jesus, please give me strength to speak English correctly. That brings us to our pick for next week. Glenjamin Bun, it is your pick to pick horror spoopy movie number 2.
Yes,
what are we watching?
I wanted to be on the dot as possible. I wanted to be the most on the dot horror movie, like just stupid. I've actually this is my backup, because I originally wanted to pick I think it was a Korean film, like a Korean horror film, but that came out in 2020, and we can't really review movies that came out in like the last year. So
yeah,
I had to shelf that away. Not the Shelf Boy, but I had to shelf it for later. And this one's going to be as spot on as you could possibly go. A full-on Halloween horror, just fucking monster movie, if you will. The Monster.
Let's go back to the car. Dogs don't got teeth like this.
Ma'am, you all right?
Yeah, we're fine.
The ambulance gonna be a bit. Stay in there.
Oh, there are monsters. They come
Mama?
The Monster.
The Monster. Released in 2016. Directed by Brian Bertino. Written by Brian Bertino. Stars Zoe Kazan, Ella Ballantine, and Aaron Douglas. The Monster is about a mother and daughter must confront a terrifying monster when they break down on a deserted road.
Look at my precious baby boy Glenn. Talking about synopsis without stumbling over his words.
I did it. I had like a mouthful of spit too. I didn't want to like...
You did it.
So
where can we watch this beautiful baby
this
Jim?
Bad boy, I closed out of the app, but I believe it was on Netflix. Yes, it's Netflix.
Okay.
So far, it looks like just strictly Netflix. So
Yeah.
Netflix, baby. The
Netflix,
Monster.
baby. Were you aware that I've seen this before?
No, I thought I looked it up too. Son of a bitch.
I might not have rated it, but I have seen it before. Yeah. I mean, I don't remember too much from it, so, know.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's because...
I looked up one movie. I don't think I actually looked up this one now that I think of it. Because this one was so out of the wild that I didn't think you even watched it.
Oh,
yep, there
Dude,
it is right there.
Come on, son. Do you know me?
Yeah, well, I kind of.
Kinda. So that is our assignment for next week. That is The Monster on Netflix. As always, you can check out our website, KeystoneFilmReview.com. On Instagram, we are Keystone_Film_Review. Twitter, Keystone_Film. Facebook, Keystone Film Review. YouTube, Keystone Film Review. We're doing lots of videos on there. And on Letterboxd, I am Mike KFR.
And I am Glenn KFR.
And that will do it until next week when we get our spoop on with Zoe Kazan with The Monster. Guten Tag.
Bye-bye.